Hey guys, my name is Sanjay and welcome to the Engineer Wannabe YouTube channel. I hope you're having a good day today. Today we're going to be reviewing the watch that is also my wristwatch check, so we're going to be killing two birds with one stone, as the saying goes. It's the Grand Seiko SBGW295, one of my favorite watches. I am glad to be finally reviewing it. Just a couple of things. You are infinitely valuable. I hope you know that. And I hope you know that a great price has been paid for you. If you want to hear anything about what any of that means, there's a link in the description. Feel free to check it out. Another thing is that I want to say a big thank you to Exter because they're sponsoring this video. You guys actually went and used my code last time. And they were happy with the performance of the sponsorship last time, so I'm grateful to you all. You really don't have to, but I appreciate you. And the code EW2023 is applicable as well, but we'll talk more about that later. All right, guys, let's take a look at this guy. Well, guys, here's the watch. This is the Grand Seiko SBGW295. The bracelet is not stock; it's aftermarket from Forstner Bands. I think it's a really nice fit, but we'll focus on the watch for now. The elephant in the room. It's really egregiously expensive. I think it's worth it. Well, clearly, because I have it. But then again, another thing I should mention is there is a bit of a confirmation bias, right? I am inclined to want to justify my purchase, but I will try my best not to and try to give a balanced review here. The dimensions of this watch, it's a 38mm in diameter watch. It is 45.5 millimeters lug to lug. The thickness, 10.5 millimeters. That's with that domed sapphire crystal there. And the lug width is 19 millimeters. Now on its stock strap, but there are two stock straps, but this one, the one that is popular, is called the Yoroi strap. It's got a titanium buckle. I didn't mention that this is Grand Seiko's brilliant hard titanium, and the buckle itself is titanium, and it is brilliant hard titanium as well, I should hope. Yes, it is. But on this strap, with this watch head, it is 54 grams. That is it. Just 54 grams. That is incredible. And it is a beautiful titanium. So very high luster polishing on here, Zaratsu polishing as usual. And because of that, it can pair with this stainless steel bracelet and not be phased one bit. Now, the name of that brilliant hard titanium, the reason why it's called brilliant hard titanium is because it is harder than stainless steel. I've got conflicting reports. I've got documentation from Grand Seiko stating that it is 4 times harder than standard 316L stainless steel. But then I have quite a few publications saying it's 2 times harder than standard 316L stainless steel. So I'm not sure which one to believe. Anecdotally, I'm inclined to believe this is very resistant to scratches. I wear this while doing my blue-collar job. I am an automotive detailer, and I am happy to wear this watch while I work. Not a mark on it. Not a single mark on it. It is perfect. So I am very impressed with this brilliant hard titanium. A throwback to Grand Seiko's first ever production watch. So because of that, it does tend to look a little plain, I suppose, but it is a beautiful watch nonetheless. If it's the time it came from, which was the 60s, I believe. Although, strangely, it is celebrating 110 years of Seiko, not Grand Seiko, but Seiko watchmaking. I think that's just an excuse to celebrate something. I mean, it's a special watch. There are other reasons why it's special, but I think the 110 years of Seiko watchmaking was just the most convenient thing to tack on there. Okay, so let's take a closer look at this dial. So this dial is an Urushi lacquer dial. It's not a normal burgundy amber color that you would see in other Urushi work. That's because some iron has been added into the Urushi lacquer, and that gives it this deep black luster. You can probably tell that it is extremely reflective. I don't think this domed sapphire crystal mixed in with that really inky deep black dial does reflectivity any favors. One thing I can tell you is that in person it is not as reflective. It is actually a very legible watch, but we'll talk a bit about legibility in a bit, at least dark situation legibility. But I'll keep talking about this lacquer. It's Japanese Urushi lacquer, which is allegedly very rare. Other thing is that it is also artisanally done. On top of that, you've got these indices. So the indices are makie. The Urushi lacquer layers are built up, and then on that final layer, 24 karat gold powder is sprinkled on to give it that gilt look. And I'm almost 100% certain that those hands are not 24 karat gold. They're just gold tone hands. Impressive because of its artisanal value, not impressive because of its precious metal content, at least. So the main drawing points here, I think, is the brilliant hard titanium, which is incredibly hard wearing. And of course the artisanal work that's done on this dial, Urushi lacquer, Japanese Urushi lacquer, that's been treated to have this dark hue, and the makie indices. But before we go any further, let's talk a bit about Exter. The last time I had Exter's sponsorship, they gave me this Vachetta leather Parliament wallet. I've been using it every single day, pretty much for 6 months now, and I do this card flaring trick incessantly. This mechanism is very sturdy. It's still going. It is incredibly addictive to do. It is aging very beautifully. It is so beautiful. They also have this card holder, which does not have this wallet section. It's just the card holder part. It has this really nice rubber strap. So this one is a forged carbon version. And of course you've got the tracker card, which connects to an app, and you can beep your wallet if you lost it. This is new. I never knew that I needed one of these. This is a key holder, but it can hold up to 6 keys, 4 to 6 keys. It is, I did not realize I needed this. You put a gasket in between each key, and this basically stays closed. And there's no jingling. There's no awful jingling of keys. Of course, that can be paired with Key Tracker, which uses the same app that goes with your wallet tracker. They also gave me a magnificent bag, a duffel bag called a Weekender. I am so thrilled with this thing. I've been taking it to work every single day. But it's a canvas bag with Vachetta leather accents, lots of pockets, magnetic pockets, and zipper pockets, and everything is just so premium, and I'm really thrilled with it. They're having a spring sale going on right now, so you can get a significant discount. But if you use the EW 2023, you'll get a bit more of a discount, and you'll be supporting me. You really don't have to do that. Please, only if you want the product, you should get it. But if you don't make yourself get it, for my sake at least. But I can vouch for their products. Let's get back to talking about this watch. Okay, so let's talk a bit about this movement. This is the Grand Seiko Caliber 9S64. It is not that special of a movement. You see it in a lot of lower priced Grand Seiko models, so it's a little puzzling that they put this movement in such a big ticket item, for the lack of a better phrase, I guess. But it is a very capable movement. It beats at 28.8 vibrations per hour, 28,800. It has got 3 days of power reserve. It's adjusted in 6 positions, and it is rated to be within -3 to +5. On the wrist, I think they say it's going to be less than 10 seconds per day, 0 to 10, if I'm not mistaken. At least anecdotally speaking, I found Grand Seiko watches to be well regulated within a few seconds per day, if even. So you can see it is modestly decorated. It looks very good, but if you see Grand Seiko's newer 9SA5 or the 9RA2, you'll be a little underwhelmed with this one here. Now, about that accuracy, here's a bit of a problem with my model. Mine is about 10 seconds a day. So it's running at +10 seconds a day. You know, maybe it is just my watch, and it doesn't even matter to me. I'm not too concerned with accuracy, especially with a mechanical watch. If it was spring drive, I would be very upset. But this is just a mechanical manual wound movement. So I personally am okay. However, there was a time where this would have bugged me to no end. And I would have been very upset with this. It is out of spec, and I'm well within my rights to send it back to Grand Seiko and ask for it to be re-regulated. I am not going to be doing that because I don't really care that much. But I should note that this is out of spec. It is running too fast. Now, let's talk about that legibility I mentioned earlier. Grand Seiko is known for multifaceted indices that are very visible even in low light conditions because of their multifacetedness. So you're going to be able to see a watch or see the time, tell the time at any given time, as long as if there's a little bit of light. Now, you kind of lose that here because there are no multifaceted applied indices here. These are Maki indices. They do not reflect light very well. And this is a work of art rather than something utilitarian. So those low light legibility is actually quite abysmal on this. But with medium to plenty of light, you're not going to have any problems. My wrist is 6¼ inches or around 16 centimeters in circumference. These lugs, they come straight out on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist. Is looking a little big, and that's because even though it's 45.5 millimeter lug to lug, those lugs come straight out. It appears to dip down there, but it doesn't really do too much based on where the strap attaches to the lug. It still wears really large. So if you have a larger wrist and you think 38 is just too small, I would advise you to consider this. You might find it is quite large. But while we're talking about that, so the strap, this Yoroi strap, it is really, really long. And this is, I believe, set to my wrist. I think I'm not on the last hole, but the one before. And the tail is tremendously large. I know Grand Seiko is killing a bunch of birds with one stone because even with my tiny wrist, I'm able to wear this watch on this strap. But I really think Grand Seiko should have maybe various different sizes for straps because especially for someone with a smaller wrist, this is not very pleasant to look at. It's not too bad. But the same thing, you get a second strap with this watch. Beautiful calf, extremely soft. I wish you could feel this. This is so soft, so nice to feel this strap. And it's definitely not as hardy as this strap. I could see the strap being put through the ringer. It's got leather, a cow steed, I think it's called, and nylon, and it's all stitched together. Very interesting method of forming this fabric leather hybrid strap. But it feels very sturdy. Feels like you could wear this and do anything. The lining is soft leather, so I wouldn't sweaten it if I can avoid it. Because this will probably start to come apart after a while. It's all stitched together though, so if you don't mind a little gumminess, feel free to wear it. But very impressive strap, the history behind it is that this used to be how they made shogun armor, so samurai armor. And it's a very, very cool story. Anyway, guys, this has been my review of the Grand Seiko SBGW295. Still one of my favorite watches. It's got its flaws, it's got its faults, but I love wearing it. It is so beautiful, very difficult to photograph. Lugs are a little unwieldy. That movement's a little disappointing. The accuracy is a little disappointing as well, but again, things that don't really matter to me a whole lot. Guys, if you have any questions about this watch, do let me know in the comments, and I'd be happy to answer them. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Extra, for sponsoring this video. I hope you all have a wonderful evening or day wherever you may be, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, everyone.